Hello my friends, welcome back to another watercolor tutorial. I believe this one's going to be released in October, so I am so excited to get into the fall season of things. It is such a warm and cozy time. This is being filmed in May, so I have yet to even experience summer after a long winter, but I'm already excited about fall. So it's kind of cool that I get to paint fall-themed tutorials in the spring. Anyways, this is inspired by artbylisma. It's a fall-themed tutorial, obviously, and it might not end up looking anything like the reference, as many of my paintings, it tends to be the case with a lot of my paintings. So it's going to be very blobby, and by that I mean we're going to just be plopping down colors and hopefully it'll come together in the end. I've taped the borders of my piece of paper. I kind of wanted to make it look more Polaroidy, so I taped more on the bottom and the top. It's hard to see it, but once I start painting you'll know what I mean. So I'm going to have a little pathway kind of in the middle there, and my forest floor is going to come up a bit like this. So I have brown right now on my paintbrush, and I just want to be mindful to create a little pathway. Like this. And you can take a bunch of different colors. I didn't mean to have so much brown. I wanted a bit of like black and orange and everything in there. So I'm gonna plop some orange and hopefully it mixes in somehow. Mind you, I should have also painted the pathway, but I guess we can do that later. Should have also done the background first. So I'm gonna try and do that now. Pop a little bit of yellow in there. So my baby, she's around 8 months at the time of filming this. When it'll be released, she'll be over a year old. Oh. Anyway, she has been kind of mute. And recently, like within the last week, it was like one day to the next, she started babbling so much. And now it's constant and it's so cute. She said the first thing she started babbling was mama. Well, it sounds like mama, mama, but I'm gonna take that as a win. So that has been very cute, and now I'm trying to figure out what she's referring to. But every time I come in the morning to pick her up out of the crib, she has this smile and she says ga ga, and I'm trying to figure out like what is she referring to, because it's always in the morning when I pick her up from her crib. Anyway, that was a little side rant. So I wish I didn't tape the top so much, because I kind of limited my painting space by doing that. But I'm just applying yellow, and I'm actually going to rinse my brush. I don't have anything but water on there right now, and I'm just going to blend some sections together. We are going to be painting a bunch of trees over top here, so it'll look a little different than it looks now. I did want this section to be a little more white and bright and exposed, so I'm lifting off paint now to try and achieve that. Might as well just fill in my road. I'll deal with it later. Okay, so that's pretty good for a first layer. it's meant to look like a giant blob because it's really the trees that we're going to paint over top that are going to make this come together. And I would be tempted to paint some trees right now, but I can tell that the surface is too wet, so I'm going to hold off on that. But I'm thinking that I will plop down some color, some brown, just on the bottom here to kind of redefine that mound that I wanted to paint. I don't like how my paint does this spider web thing. Not a fan of that. Maybe I need some black. Okay, I should let this dry and then we'll come back and add some more to it. Although, sorry, I know I go back on what I say so many times, but I'm kind of tempted to add a little bit of orange color just up top here because I'm gonna have some trees, of course. And I know I already added like the background, the yellow that's there, but just to add a little bit of texture, layering. And having a drier brush for these areas might help achieve kind of the look that you are going for. Okay, yeah, let's let this dry and we'll come back to it. Okay, so this should be dry. I'm gonna start painting the trees. So I'm gonna grab brown and I'm gonna first take a liner brush and take kind of a watered down brownish black and paint just some trees in the background so we have a little bit of perspective going on. That is even too much. Like I want it even more watered down than that. So I'm painting just a few of these, and the closer that they are, if I want them to be farther away, I draw them a little bit raised, like the start will be a little bit higher than these ones. So like I want to make one look even farther away, so it's a little bit higher up and it's a little bit thinner, and even if you can achieve it like not as opaque, a lot more faded if it's possible with the brush and skill set that you have, that is what you can do. And I mean, you can keep going with this indefinitely, honestly. And I don't want to do that. I just wanted my background established so that I can pick up some darker color and start plopping on the darker trees. So I'm gonna have one like this. I need to switch paintbrushes because this one is not big enough. I need to refrain from adding too many branches because I do want this to look a little more simple, and that was just way too much. So let's try not to do that anymore. Like one branch like that is fine, but maybe two. Have another large one over here. So again, the closer you want them to the viewer, to make them appear closer to the viewer, you start them closer to the bottom, and obviously you make them thicker. Those are two kind of techniques to make them look closer than the other trees that you've painted. And we are going to add some leaves on these guys, of course. So I'm going to take some orange, but I don't want it to have a lot of water on my brush. And even that is a bit too much. And I'm just going to angle my paintbrush sideways and dab it in a way that it kind of creates this stippling motion and paints on trees. Sorry, leaves. Leaves, not trees. And you can like blend it as well, like the stippling can be concentrated towards just certain areas if you want it to be, because I can see how that would be kind of a lot. And I'm just adding, sorry, a base at the base of my trees here, because currently the stumps, the bottoms of the trees appear to be floating, and we don't want that. We don't want flotation. And I'm even going to take a little bit of color. I'm going to be bold and take maybe yellow at the base here to define the pathway a little bit better. maybe make it look like there's leaves. When I look at this through the camera, it looks so much better than in person. So I hope that you guys have a similar view. I'm going to take a little bit of black. And add a little bit of specklage there. The other thing I'm tempted to do is take this neon yellow and tap that on as well. That's nice, I like that. And one other thing, which I've done in a previous tutorial, it was kind of accidental actually in a previous tutorial, and I really liked it. I'm taking white watercolor. You can take white acrylic paint, mine's just very opaque. And I'm adding a highlight to the trees, the ones facing the inside here. Or, sorry, on the inside, because that's kind of where the light is shining from. And it adds just a little extra detail. Like so. And you can even add like little grass details if you want. Although I don't think that really added very much to the painting, but that was like a lot of nothing, but it kind of culminates into this final product. So I quite like how this turned out. Nice little Polaroid scene. Let me know what you guys thought of this one. Please don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, comment down below, and I will be sure to see you in the next tutorial.